what's up?
My name is Henry Mayor. Thank you all for your time. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, sorry.
What kind of barber are you?
That boy cold.
As a, so this is my question. As a barber or hair therapist, I noticed that several men report feeling valued for what they provide rather than who they are. What can women do to make men feel emotionally supported, seen, and cared for in relationships, especially when they're struggling with their mental health? Where all my fellas at? Where all my fellas at?
Trill, what you about to say?
I think, first off, salute to you for being brave enough to come up and ask this question. I just want to say that.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
For sure. But I think one thing women can do is listen. And I mean listen without taking it personal. Listen without feeling like he's attacking you. Listen without cutting him off when he's talking because you're offended by what he said or you're triggered by what he said and you ready to be defensive. I think that's the first thing, is creating a space to where that man can express himself. I think a lot of men that are in relationships, short and long term, feel like there's a struggle to come to my woman and express to her what it is that I need from her. Express to her what it is that maybe she can improve on. And I think until that space is created, you'll never be as connected with your man as you want to be. But there are a lot of people who walk into relationships and they are unhealed. And what I mean by that is something as simple as a constructive criticism, because it is constructive criticism because it's coming from your man. It's not coming from a stranger. It's not coming from an op. It's coming from your man. The man that's paying the bills, the man that loves you, the man that raises your kids, the man that provides for you, backbone, things of that nature. So I think that until women understand where that message is coming from, in terms of the unhealed ones, they're going to attack him when he's talking, especially if he says something that they don't necessarily agree with. So I think what you said, what can women do? Listen, it ain't always for you to interject. It ain't always for you to challenge what he's saying. Sometimes you got to just listen to your partner and really take heed to what he's saying. If the goal is being closer with him. Now, if the goal is being right, that's a totally separate conversation, baby. And you ain't ready to be in a relationship. But if the goal is being on the same page with your man and having a level of understanding and clearing a pathway for him to talk to you, because every time you cut him off, you know what you do? Dissuade him from coming to you with how he feels. Makes him shut down. Makes him feel like, I can't talk to my woman, so I got to go outside and talk to my friends. I got to go outside and talk to other women. I got to go outside and talk to whoever will listen to me without interrupting. So that would be the main thing that I would say. It's just listen when the man is talking.
You know what's interesting about this question? I was thinking while you were talking. There are so many men, and this is even married men. This can be married men for 10 to 15 years. They've been in a relationship and ain't never been ... backed. And what I mean by that is he's never been earned back, chose back, picked back. A lot of times women will say yes to our proposal, yes to our offer. She'll go along with it, and we take them accepting our gestures as them doing things back. And sometimes the first step here is just reciprocating. Sometimes it's just like understanding that, yeah, he likes to buy you gifts, but buy him gifts back. Yes, he likes to plan dates for you, but plan dates back. Yes, he likes to listen to your problems, but listen to his problems back. And it's very simple, and oftentimes, because the way our relationship started, especially if this is a stand-up guy, I courted you, I pursued you, I earned you. But sometimes that relationship never switches to the level of reciprocity. And I continue to do it this whole relationship, and sometimes I don't get that back. Now, I'm not saying for all the healthy women in tonight's conversation, this is me talking to you, But there is a lot of men in relationships right now that don't feel earned back by their lady. Like, for example, even as trivial as sex, there are men that's 10 years deep in a relationship and still have to initiate sex 100% of the time. Because it's his responsibility, right? He got to get me worked up. At some point, when does this become, we both like to excite each other? We both like to flirt with each other, get each other turned on. But at some point, it doesn't do that, and a lot of men feel neglected because she not ... back. What's up, Mike?
No, I'm gonna be for real this time. We're getting close to Sunday. The first thing I'm gonna say is that you're in a pretty privileged position as a barber, because that's probably one of the most vulnerable places for men. So I appreciate you holding space and reporting back from that space, because that's important. That barbershop is so deep of a place. I think that's the only time black men kind of get together in groups of 10 sometimes.
Yes, sir.
You know? But my struggle is, it's really tough to get women to fix a male problem. Because what I heard was a problem with a man who has been conditioned his whole life to protect and provide. So he knows how to do that. He's doing that successfully, but he still feels unappreciated from his partner. And now the first step in that is to being able to say it out of his mouth, because as a man, we're in the middle of an attack on male expressiveness. We can't wear pink. We can't wear anything that, like, the rhinestones is over. So there's, I know. It's safe. We provide a safe space here in tonight's conversation, so inclusive. But no, I think men need to be as vocal about where they hurt. And if there's a good place to start, it's gonna be with that woman. That woman. I think, to Ace's point, women need to do, some women need to do a better job at being proactive, but ain't nobody gonna know where we bleeding at if we don't come home and show the wounds. And that's on us. And it's really hard in relationships, you know, because a lot of people are only in them to get served. So this is a really dangerous thing to do in relationships, because a lot of time, some people in relationships hop from relationship as it's like a survival technique. They go from honeymoon phase to honeymoon phase to honeymoon phase, and as a man, that protection and provision is what we do. Maybe we gotta pull that back. A lot of times, protection and provision as a black man is not where you start with a woman when you dating her. That's what you do when you take her home. And if she gotta twist her face up about a picnic or a park, that's a yellow flag. You know what I'm saying? So as much as I want men to be vocal about the fact that they feel valued, they don't feel valued beyond the protection and provision, maybe that's not what we need to be offering out here so willy-nilly, because they wanted us to do that. I think that was a trap. I think that was a trap to drill in protection, provide. That, you know, what do I need from a man? I need protection and provision. That's the relationship. So to all my women out there, in order to keep that relationship going, something other than sex. Something other than sex. Trill said he wants time. Tony said he wants reciprocity. Mike says, give me anything. I'm tired of getting sex for my birthday, Christmas, Valentine's Day, everything. Y'all whack it, y'all clean it up and dress it up, put a little air freshener on it, but it's the same thing. See, I don't like that. Something other than sex. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Appreciate it. You know what, though? I think most men that have been in relationships 10 to 15 years will settle for the routine sex. Let me tell you, niggas don't start having problems until that start lacking. Because it's like, we can deal with a little attitude. We can deal with you talking back a little bit. But you stopped giving head like 3 years ago. And now that's a problem here. Like, that'd be like the basic. When you stop doing that, that's the equivalent of doing the dishes. It's just like, don't care about me. And What's interesting, and I bring that up, what's interesting about the sex conversation, because I don't want to get into it on stage right now, because it's like men, we don't even have a safe space to really discuss our desires for sex without it seeming like we're trying to police your body. We've been in that's the thing.
Wait.
We.
So, how can a woman support a man in him being seen and supported, especially if he's having mental health issues?
I feel like the first thing is kind of like what they were saying is you got to be able to create that safe space for him to be able to even express that he needs to be cared for in a specific and certain way, and being able to have those conversations. That's just early on stuff that you need to be having, so you know how to cater to your man, as Destiny Child would say, and everything else. Because we live in 2026 where women want X, Y, and Z, and they want the Birkins and the Lambos and everything else, but no one ever talks about what the man wants and or needs. And it's not just about sex and all this other stuff, because at the end of the day, you can get that from anybody. What else are you bringing to the table? Can you create the safe space? As they said, can you listen and not be judgmental and try to chime back in and everything else like that? Can you provide other parts? Can you just, little simple stuff, can you just cook the meal and be supportive in that way? I went to work all day. He said, I'm a barber. He was standing on his feet for 10 plus hours. Can he come home, the food ready, you catering to him in that particular way, and things of that nature. So I just think it's just creating a safe space for men to be themselves, and not being able to, try to throw that stuff back in their face if they bring something up or whatever the case is. Because we need that. It's hard being a black man, especially in the world today. And the last thing we need is for our woman to be out here causing stress and problems and everything like that. So we want to be listened to. We want to be catered to. We want to be taken out. We like gifts. We don't want just ties and socks and sweaters and stuff. We want the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? We want trips too. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be, like he was saying, I agree with everything they were saying. There needs to be reciprocation and everything, all that stuff too. It can't just always be one-sided. The man's going to be the provider. He's going to make sure you taken care of and everything else. But what else is it that you bringing to the table too? That's all I'm saying. What you think?
I feel it. The guys need some love too, and some unconditional care as well, for sure. Hey, you guys are human. You guys want to be heard as well. You guys have emotions as well, and hey, lay it out on the table for the ladies, and tell them what you want if anything is lacking.
It's true. I also say, as men, we need to be better about even expressing ourselves though too, because even if they're creating a safe space, if you're not coming out and saying I need X, Y, and Z, or you're not saying how you feeling or whatever the case is, then it's not gonna be no good. You can't go back to your brothers and everything, be complaining if you're not telling your wife or your girl what's going on and what the situation is. So if they're creating a safe space and they're doing everything they do, then at the very least, you could express and say how you feel and what you need and different things like that. Because they ain't gonna know if you don't say nothing. They can't support you and do what you got to do if you don't tell them what's happening, what's going on. I got a great wife. My wife was holding it down when I was in college. We met when I was in college getting my master's degree. She was extremely supportive, extremely kind, without even me really ever having to say anything, really, which I appreciate. So just little stuff like that that's kind of let me know, okay, she's a little something different. And like we said, she was cooking for her brother and stuff. So it's just little stuff that that reciprocal type of situation. Like, yeah, I'm taking you out, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I might, do all this stuff, but at the same time, can you come back and do certain things too to let me know that you're not only interested, but you're also here for me as well? So we just need that as men, but we also got to be able to vocalize and say what we need too.
And I feel it. I feel it. What you got to say about the women out there who feel like they'll never do nothing for a man because a man don't deserve it? They are just a man.
Well, you gonna end up getting what you get at the end of the day. Them be the type of people who try to get the high value man and get everything that they want, but then be mad when they be getting treated all funky and all this other stuff. That's just not a way to treat people. If you wouldn't want to be treated that way, then don't treat other people in that particular way. I don't care what your mama and the aunties and everybody else done said about how men are nothing but dogs. We don't need them. We just use them and abuse them for blah, blah, blah. Like, let that stuff go because they just sad, lonely, and bitter at the end of the day. That's why they ain't got no man. If you got an opportunity and chance to get you a man, go ahead and do that because you don't want to be out here all lonely by yourself. Now you 67-year-old talking about I ain't got nobody, I'm lonely, blah, blah. Now you sitting in the nursing home by yourself because you didn't want to give people a chance. You know what I'm saying? So don't do that. God created man and woman to be together and be married and to do things right. I know marriage and that whole situation ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't gonna get married. Some people are just called to be single, and that's fine. But if that's something that you desire, go ahead and seek that from the Lord and everything. Don't be out here treating people all bad and stuff. Because at the end of the day, what's funny is if you treating that person bad, that's like treating Jesus Christ bad because that Jesus is a child. So when you treat him bad, you treating Jesus bad at the end of the day, and that's gonna come back on you at the end of the day. And the last thing you want is to get to them pearly gates talking about, oh, Jesus, I can't believe it. And he's talking about, I don't know you not because you treated Tyrone bad back in 2006. You know what I'm saying? You don't want them problems. So just treat everybody with respect, treat them right, just how you want to be treated, and do good by one another. What you think?
I totally agree. Yes, treat others how you want to be treated, People are human beings. Treat them right. And the Lord sees everything that you're doing. You think that, you getting away with it or it don't mean nothing to you to treat people like crap? Oh, honey, your day is coming when you're going to be judged for the things that you have done to people.
It's true. It is true. No lies told.
That's the end of the video. Go ahead and check out stamps-tv.com. So much content on the website. Go click that link in the tab.
Yep, and while you're there, go ahead, visit that Shop Stamps apparel tab. We got great t-shirts, hoodies, jogging sets, all different types of stuff on there. Go ahead, check it out and get you a little something.
And go check out Stamps Essentials on the website. Click that tab on the website. So much to offer. Shampoos, deep conditioners, protein treatments, leave-in conditioners, hair growth oil, hair grease, whipped shea butter for the skin, lip liners, and of course our signature product, Stay Moist Coils hair system. It's a 3-part system. It's for wash and goes, but you can also use it for a single twist, single braids, and perm rod sets. I got it in my hair right now to get this style, okay? And this is all my hair. This ain't no wig, no weave, no extensions, no nothing. This is my hair, okay? And I use our products to grow my hair and to style my hair. Y'all go ahead and check that link in the bio. Bye.
See y'all.